All right, so to create a box and whisker plot, it's basically just going to be finding three medians. You've already found the one median for your set of data, and so now we have to discuss how to find the remaining two medians. First, we need to arrange our data from least to greatest. And we put them in least to greatest, and now this obviously is a very small sample size, but as you can already tell, it has a mode of 12, and we could also find the mean and the median. Now, the box in the whisker plot does not actually go onto a number line. So we are going to create a number line, and the intervals that we chose are counting by twos. I can tell you right now that with your project, you're not going to count by twos. Your number line would be a little bit too long. So you may want to count by fives or tens. This example, we're going to count by twos. After you order your number line, you're going to find the median. The median would be the entire set. In this case, we found our median. There were 9 numbers altogether, and therefore there was no calculation. 8 is the median. After that, we have two sets. We have the data up top, and we have a lower set of data below the median. With that being said, we can now find the second part and the third part of our box and whisker plot. Find the lower half median. To do that, we take the 4 numbers and then find the median of that. In this case, the 3 and the 5 have an average of 4. That's also known as our lower quartile, or the median of the lower half. The next step is to take the set of data and find the upper half's median. To do that, it's in between 12 and 12, or in this case, we just take the numbers if they're the same, and that's our upper quartile. Notice, after that, all I do is I put my box lines where the 4 for the lower quartile, the 8 for the median, and the 12 for the upper quartile are located. That becomes my box. Box and whiskers, there's the box. The box represents the lower quartile, the median, and the upper quartile. And this box represents where half of my data is located. The other half of the data is represented by the 2 whiskers on the outer edges. Those are represented by the smallest and largest numbers in the data set, otherwise known as the extremes, the upper extreme for the large number and the low extreme for the lower number. We have 2 as our lowest value, so we're going to create a dot at 2 and then make our whisker accordingly. Same thing for the upper extreme. We have 13 as our greatest value. We take 13, find the dot or the place where 13 belongs, put a dot and a whisker connecting the box. In this case, it looks like our data is evenly spread out between 2 and 13. There aren't really large whiskers. There's not a large box in between. The majority of our data is between the 4 and 12 mark, where 2 and 13 are our extremes. Now, with your set of data, it's the same idea, only now you're going to really have to take the full set of data and looking at it. Obviously, the stem and leaf plot can help you with this because now you don't have to stretch the numbers out as far. We can look at the stem and leaf plot and go from there. A couple of suggestions would be, number 1, notice that we did not use the 8 or the numbers as the median in the lower half or the upper half medians. So once you use the number, it is no longer part of that data set. Also, even though we took the 3 and the 5 as the lower quartile, this 2 would be the only number considered as the whisker for the lower half. Because we used the 12 and the 12 for the upper quartile, the 13 would be the only number considered to be at the higher end of this set of data. Tonight, I'd like you to try at least to look at your data set for your project and see if you can find the lower quartile, the upper quartile, and the median in order to tomorrow create your box and whisker plot so that you have a step ahead on your project.